Good afternoon, everyone. Today's reading is going to be what is really going on in this relationship. You've got 3 piles to choose from, pile number 1, 2 and 3, and we'll just get going straight away. Okay, pile number 1. No time to think there. Pile number 1. Okay, right, pile number 1, let's get going. This is going to be a slower read because I've got to take all these little bits in rather than putting lots of different cards on. So I've got to dig more information out of one card. Try and test myself here. Right, what is really going on in this situation? When I'm pulling the cards out, it makes me think of a battle between control and the feelings of being connected to someone. There's a nurturing and loving feeling, but also a feeling as you're on the edge all the time, as if you want to jump in but there's something stopping you. With this card here, I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, Isis and Osiris, is that right? 2 people who fell madly in love but had a jealous brother, and who, I think he put Osiris into some sort of casket or basket and shoved him off down the aisle. So to me it speaks of love that possibly has gone on for, I'm going to say this lightly but not really, different lifetimes, and that is almost hinted upon later on in the pack as well. So I think that you feel a real connection with this person and vice versa, but I think it's almost as if the connection's there and you feel bound, but it's not moving anywhere. I get a feeling of being pushing and the magnetic pull as well at the same time, but almost teetering on the edge and wanting to throw yourself over the edge into this relationship, but you just can't quite, oh my Lord, can't quite get there. Love, harmony, I'm just reading the guidebook here, passion and sensuality. I don't use these cards. So love, harmony, passion and sensuality. So there's a real connection there and it feels good. Right, I'm going to go through each card one at a time and just to see how it comes across. The situation, I think you or the other person feels almost out of control in the attraction. There's that feeling of the attraction taking you for a walk rather than you owning it. There's a feeling of possibly feeling as if it's not doing you the good that you hoped it would because it feels so strong. You may be thinking too much about it. You may feel it's not a positive situation, but your feelings are still there. You recognise the feelings between the pair of you, but you also feel as if you should be moving away and not actually thinking or hoping and feeling. For some reason, that might come out a little bit later on. It's a feeling of being bound, but knowing that's not what you need at the moment. The problem with a relationship, apart from the fact that you feel as if it's strong but you can't move with it, is the fact that you just feel a horrendous strong connection. You know that the other person feels the same. I think that when you communicate it's very loving. I think that when you communicate it's very sweet sort of interaction. It's like respectful and sweet and innocent. And if you dream of this person, I'm assuming a lot of your dreams would be that type of energy where you're just generally getting on, you feel a real connection with this person. But for some reason, the relationship as a whole is coming up as some sort of binding influence that you feel is there that you can't actually get away from. But the feelings are genuine, the affection is genuine, and it's from both sides. So that's quite difficult for you to deal with. To me, this feels strongly like a connection from I don't know if you believe in past lives or not. I don't really know what I believe, but to be honest, but there's a feeling that this has happened before, and there's almost like with this type of relationship, there's an instant recognition when you see each other, and you feel comfortable straight away, probably more so than with most other people. It's sensitive, it's sensual, and there's a feeling of passion and a really strong need to be with this person. It's the type of person that you're almost waiting for the text to arrive, and you're just thinking about the next connection or the next get together. You've got the card of Virgo here, and you've got the, see, I think this Ceres, which is like a mothering, nurturing card, goes very much with your relationship, because I do think it has that feeling that you can move forward with each other and you can support each other. But what you really need to do is the Knight of Pentacles here is to almost pull back a bit and be a little bit more practical and a little bit more controlled, and nobody wants to hear that, because you've got Ceres, which I'm assuming goes with this card here, and Virgo above the Knight of Pentacles here. So with this card here, I think what's actually needed is for you to be more astute, to look after yourself and to not plunge headfirst into this relationship at the moment, because I don't know what the because is yet, because I haven't actually looked. I'm just going to go through it bit by bit and see which, because each card's got a different meaning, and then see how it actually comes out. At the moment I'm just getting a feeling of attraction and passion and sensuality, and a huge pull that actually feels as if it's not too positive for you, but the pull is there between the pair of you and you can both feel it. But there's a need to actually be more practical and a bit more down to earth with this, and to give less and to care less and to just pull back and look after yourself. I wonder with the second house up here whether there's some issues of self-worth, as in this person, when you've got the Devil here and you've got the second house here, makes me feel that unless you're getting the reinforcement or the attention from this other person, because you feel attracted to them, it feels as if life's not moving in the direction you want it to. And with the Devil here, it's as if it's like an addiction, as if you want, it's something you strongly, strongly need. And if there is a past life connection with this, it's because you possibly have been together in past lives and you feel like it should be now. I'm not saying it shouldn't be, because I haven't looked at all the cards, but that's probably what the draw is with you. Right, if there was a past life between you, or there is some karmic bond there, it's because you two have been together before, because you've got the soul tribe down here, and you've actually made each other feel really good. It wouldn't surprise me whether you had Jupiter contacts in both of your charts that passed in between each other, and when you're together you feel bigger and you just feel generous and you feel giving. With the Two of Cups here, the Nine of Cups as the past link, and the Two of Cups being a barrier, the barrier is that you get on so well, and the connection is there and the love is there, and it's reciprocated and it's equal and it's sweet and it's innocent, and the Nine of Cups is the same. So in your past lives, what you're bringing together when your eyes meet is that feeling of connection and that feeling of love, but for some reason it's carrying one or both of you away, and you're almost being asked to just take it step by step by step, not to throw yourself off the edge of the cliff as yet, to hold back, control yourself. With the second house here, it wouldn't surprise me with this spread as it's going, I haven't looked down here yet, as if it's one of those sort of spreads that the second house, and with this sort of a deep attraction and connection, and then the Knight of Pentacles here, whether it's asking you to do something on your own before you give everything to this person. It's almost as if you need to do something, I don't know what it is, it could be the second house, it's normally self-worth or self-esteem. I'm not saying you've got low self-worth or self-esteem, it's just something that you just may need to do that you wouldn't do if you're in a relationship. Something for yourself. If there's something that's come into your mind, maybe there's just a certain something that you could possibly do that once you're in a relationship you think, actually I wouldn't need to do that. And it would probably surprise you what it would make you feel like. And if that is possible, then if you do that, the relationship may be more likely to come together. It's almost like swimming against the tide. If there's something else within yourself that you need to bring out before you start looking for it in another person? Okay, why are you together? My God, this sounds so familiar. You're together to exercise your control. You're together for both of you to exercise your control. I don't know what situation you're in, but with this Isis and Osiris, I know there was a brother involved, so there could be 3 people involved, and jealousy in some way, shape or form. And this, you have been brought together, and there's a recognition there of each other. And there's the attraction there, and it's almost as if you have almost let loose in past lives and just been free together, and it's made you both feel good, and there's that instant recognition of, I can get that back, I can get that feeling of falling in love and being in love back again with this person. But for some reason you've been brought together to show how controlled you can be. When you're probably given a passionate situation in the past with the 9 of Cups, you may possibly have thrown everything into it and been too emotional, too passionate. Okay. This is the future influence, and you've got the 5 of Pentacles here. So I'm somehow wondering whether in the future that you're not going to get something from this person that you feel that you need to make yourself feel good and get back to this 9 of Cups feeling, and to keep the 2 of Cups feeling. And what this is going to do, or possibly could do, is make you feel as if you're going to have to fall back on your own resources, with Virgo in 2nd house here, to bring out something in yourself that you may have recognised in the other person. We meet people in lives, and most of the time, male or female, friend or lover, it's to bring something out in ourselves that we haven't brought out. And I'm getting a strong feeling from this pile that possibly could be it. I'd be really interested to know what attracts you to this person, and whether that's something that you feel you can do. If you could name 3 things that really attract you to this person, is it something that you need to do that's going to express those 3 things in yourself? Because this pile is really giving me a strong feeling of somebody that you, say if there was such thing as past lives, which probably just present lives you're just dipping into. This person has made some sort of pact with you to come together in this lifetime and to push you to do something for yourself. And you're recognising the attraction because this person's part of yourself, and you're feeling that passion with the Fool and the Love card here, the Isis and Osiris card, and that bond there and that bind there, and it's making you feel good, and you basically want to go swimming in that lake again. And what's happened is this person is causing you to actually pull on your self-control. And what will happen if you keep pushing this person, if the situation doesn't fit into your life at this moment, perhaps this person's, you can't get to them in some way, then what's going to happen is possibly in the near future you're going to feel slightly pushed out of the relationship, to the fact you may want to turn your back on it. But what it's really pushing you to do is to have more self-control, to bring something out of yourself that you see in this other person. When I'm going quiet, I'm actually counting what card I'm on. It's nothing very sort of spiritual here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Right, from their perspective, I think that they are very similar to you. You are both in the same situation. You're coming across as the Knight of Pentacles, and they're coming across as the Page of Pentacles. Both of these cards are looking, can you see these cards are beautiful? Both of these cards are looking straight at me, and as if you're both fully aware of the relationship that you've got, you're both fully aware of the situation, but you're almost both, with the Page and the Knight of Pentacles, you're both being asked to be practical and not passionate, which is horrendously boring for you, I'm sure, but it's as if you're both being asked to be quite firm with yourselves and just see honestly and openly the situation for what it is and what you can possibly do, even though you want to do more. man or woman with this is the person you're asking about with the butterfly on the face here, makes me also think as if they want the change even more than you do, because it's, to me, the butterfly is metamorphosis, and they're almost as if they want the change and they're almost being thrown back on their heels to do it practically in small ways, but it's almost as if they want it more. You're almost got the energies a little bit more severe. Just from the face here, as if you're prepared to do, you could be prepared to do the practical steps, but you're almost, it's giving me a feeling of being a little bit pissed off for having to do that. I don't think though, even though your partner comes across here, or the person you've got your eye on, as wanting the transformation and being prepared to make small steps, but that's it at the moment, I don't think you're actually getting much from them, because they've got the Four of Cups here. It's almost as if they have resigned to the fact that the relationship can't move forward in some way. Because the Four of Cups to me speaks of offers and not doing anything with it. And this card looks a lot lazy to me. It's like looking into the future and wanting things to happen, but not actually doing anything about it. Because there's a crystal ball here, and this lioness, I don't know what it was for a moment, it's just looking at the crystal ball. It's got its head in a book, so it's thinking and it's researching in some way, whatever way, shape or form. It could be anything, just basically asking about you, thinking about you and looking forward, but there's no movement. So to me this feels like a pile that's stuck. The feelings are known and the feelings are there on both sides, and there's almost like a recognition of a really good strong bond between the pair of you. I wonder whether you feel as if the ideas are milling over and over in your head and you just can't get away from it, and that can be quite painful at times when it's you and you just feel slightly just as if it's going over. I can't say a different way. I was going to say obsessed, but I was trying to think of a better way to say it. You just basically can't get away from the feeling it's strong. But you're being called on to use self-control. You're both being called on to use self-control. And I don't even know why, when there's a strong bond there. And I wonder whether there's somebody else involved, or the situation just can't come together. Both of you recognise it, and both of you on the same page, because you both got these very sort of practical, smaller cards here, as if to me you're being told to stop thinking of throwing yourself into each other's arms, because you possibly have done this in a past life, and you've been brought together in this life to recognise it in each other. But I think it could go both ways, that this person's almost pushing you to bring something out in yourself that you recognise in him or her. Right. When you're together, I get the Temperance card here, and you've got the Two of Cups here. So when you're together, it gives me and the Nine of Cups past life. It's a really sweet, flowing energy. You feel as if it's just the right person for you. You feel almost at home with this person. They make you feel good. They make you feel larger than life, and there's just the connection there, that as if this person is the one. A really, really strong bond, and there's a nurturing feel about it as well with Therese there, and the Virgo in the second house still makes me think that practical steps are needed for this to actually move forward for the both of you. Small steps, not gung-ho and throwing yourself into some sort of passionate fit, especially if it doesn't fit into your life at the moment. So there's something you can't move forward with, whether it's distance in some way, shape or form, or another person, or I don't know. I get the feeling that you need to do something for yourself that you need to do before you can move into this relationship. The reason I'm saying that, you've got control, and then it's followed back by here, by future influences, the Five of Pentacles, and that's been shut out. And the only reason when there's this relationship that you feel and you know is there to feel shut out of is because I feel that it's for you to develop something in yourself, because I feel strongly that we meet people in our lives to bring something else out in ourselves and enjoy the relationship, of course. But when it's stuck, I think you need to look inward to think, why am I attracted to this person in the first place? Right. The most likely outcome for this relationship is a feeling of still working together, of still working towards something, of finding the strength within yourself and finding that part of yourself that you never knew you had. It's almost as if this person trying to get close to them is actually going to make you into a bigger person, because you're going to learn what it feels like to feel passion. You're going to learn what it feels like to feel obsession. You're going to learn what it feels like to feel accepted and to feel that bond that actually is, is there. Because this person's coming up as you've got the Nine of Cups and Soul Tribe. So this person possibly, if you believe in past lives, it's almost as if you two have sat together and said, let's meet at this time, we recognise each other, let's recognise the attraction, and let's just see how we cope with it. Especially if there's some sort of blockage there. To me it feels like, I don't know if you're interested in astrology, it's like Chiron in a composite or is it Davison chart? It's as if, to me, that there is a recognition of each other, but somehow society just says that it can't move forward. Not forever, but at this moment it's just stuck. And I don't know if this rings true in any way, but the recognition and the bond there between you is really sweet. Right, to sum up this pile, what is really going on with you two? To me, it feels like two very passionate people who are just ready to jump on. Sorry about that, SD card actually full, so this seems to happen all the time. Right, I was just saying that there's some sort of pull between the pair of you, and I was thinking that the feelings are really strong and it's there and you both feel it, but there's some reason you've been pulled back to exercise some sort of control. And if that doesn't happen, you're going to almost feel as if you're pushed out because it can't go any further at the moment. You both feel the same, you're both acting the same, you're both trying to be practical about it, but there's a real feeling of wanting to move forward, more so from your person. And this makes me feel that your person just has almost shut off a bit because they just feel trapped, that they can't move forward with you. But I do think there's a genuine feeling of reciprocated love, and there's definitely passion, and there's that need to jump in and throw the baby out with the bathwater, but you're both being called not to do it. And I think what will happen in the future is that there will be this desire that's almost squashed down, but still you can both still feel it's there, but then you're both, the Seven of Pentacles here, there's still that need to move forward slowly. There's a recognition in each other of being the same person or feeling the same things as well, and there's got to be balance in this relationship, and it's almost as if you got to wear like an iron pants. It's calling for control, and it's calling for that. I think the reason with the second house here and the Emperor, and this person makes you feel good, but I think it's almost, I can't speak to your person because you're the one having the reading. It's almost as if you need to feel good totally on your own without looking at this person to make you feel good. This person makes you feel good because they're so similar to you. So there's some quality that you're seeing in them that you have in yourself. So whatever you admire, pour that out even more from yourself. And then try again in like a month, or try again, to get it, see if it's moving in a month's time. But at the moment you've just been called back. It's almost like being called back and told to stop razzing off down the high street in your first car. It's like a call back to stop being gung-ho, and which is really difficult when you feel for somebody, and you both feel it. Right, plan number one, I'm going to finish it there. I don't know if that made sense in any way, but it's really me, when you feel for somebody, which I think you both do, to actually be called to not express it as much and to just basically practically, there might be a reason you can't express it. With this card here, it makes me wonder whether there's some reason that you can't express your passion for each other in some way. Right, thank you, Pile 1, anyway, and good luck. Okay, right, hi there, pile number 2. Your card's quite confusing for me. I'll tell you why. The first card I've got here is a situation from where you stand, and the first card I got out is this card, which is supposed to mean I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Rosh-Cash or Ross-Cash? I don't know. There's some test where there's an ink blot and you've got to decide what that actually means. And this is what this card means. It's anything you want it to mean. So the situation where you are at the moment, I don't think is quite defined. And I think it's up to you, and whichever way that you want to guide it is where the relationship can go. You've also, I put an extra card on the top just to give me a clue, and you've got the Death card to me. So I wonder whether the situation has come to some sort of end and it's your decision now where you want to take it. You've got the card up here as well, which made me think that these might be interlinked, of illusion and the story of the Swan Lake with Ivan and Odette. I don't know how to say these names. Where she's turned into a swan and I'm half making this up, and only comes out at night. And the only way that she can not become a swan and be human again is if somebody declares undying love to her. And which Ivan does, but he's somehow tricked, and she would die if it's not declared. And so there's some trickery that goes on somewhere or other. I'm not saying this story. You're not going to go and watch it now, are you? And so he can hear her crying and wailing as she dies. So it's got an illusion down here. So as if there's something about this relationship with Neptune next to it as well is not quite clear. So this card to begin with, where it's make it up as you want to, and this trickery or illusion and the change that's happened makes me think that the situation has somehow ended, and it's almost like the Moon card and the Fool together. It's like nothing's clear, everything's misty, and you can move forward because you're right at the beginning of your journey again if that's what you want. It's going to be your decision, I think, where you want this relationship to go. The Hierophant up here, I'm not sure what this means yet, but to me it's like it could be something that you could work in an organisation, or there could be some traditional family bond where you may not be allowed to be together. I don't know, like an arranged marriage sort of thing, or you could be one that doesn't fit this relationship in, but it's something traditional and orthodox in some way that affects this relationship. I don't know yet. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Could it even be with the 11th house here in Scorpio that there's some underlying feeling here that one of you may want something like to have a traditional marriage or to have that sort of bond, and the other person may have been married before and doesn't want it. It's like hopes and wishes with the Hierophant, and something under the surface with Scorpio. So I don't know, there's just possibilities. I'm just reading the cards as best as I can, and then we'll see whether it fits in as we go along. So the biggest barrier to you is the Sun. So your biggest barrier is normally something to do with the way you communicate. And if you communicate like the Sun, this isn't a barrier because you're open and you're truthful and you're honest. So the illusion and the not knowing where you stand has got nothing to do with the way you communicate. The only other possibility I could think with this, if this is a barrier, is whether one of you has children already, or a child already, or a traditional marriage already, and it doesn't fit into your situation. You could either not, it could be anything, you know, if you or the other person may not be ready to move into a relationship, because one relationship with the Death card here, and anything can happen feeling here, their relationship could have ended or yours could have, and you may be just not ready to keep rolling forward yet. And with the Sun card here, you're both very honest and open about that. But there's something here with Neptune, illusion, and this strange feeling that's not quite understood yet. I'll keep going. Okay, I'll keep going and see how it comes out. The best thing that you can possibly do is, I think that you're quite a strong person, and I think that you're very much in control of yourself with lots of different tricks up your sleeve to make sure you get through this situation without feeling that you're the one that's been run over. With the Magician card here, and what you need to do is just basically take control of yourself. You know, use everything that you have in your power, which is probably quite a lot with the Magician card. So use your intuition, use your practicality. You've probably been in situations like this before, and it's just how to keep your head above water without feeling that it's dragging you down. In some way, shape or form, I don't really know. I'm going to put some cards on these. Right, your cards are coming out quite big. I've just put extra cards on the illusion of Neptune. I think it's going to tell me something to do with some sort of deception or something that you can't quite get a grasp of. And there's been some sort of shake-up in the past. And this is making me sit up now because I really can't figure it out. There's some sort of break-up or shake-up in the past that's leaving one or both of you feeling like you've been pushed out of a situation. This situation possibly could be a traditional situation like a marriage. And so this is why this next chapter in your life is like the death. It's behind you. It's like you can decide what happens next. Whatever's happened between you or this person, you're open and you're clear, but the situation in the past may not have been. So you've got all this at your disposal. You're probably a very sort of strong person and you know where to go. And I think you're beginning to see everything clearly. With the Magician card here, what's the best thing you can do is just to keep your eyes open, because his eyes are almost lighting up. And it's just to keep your eyes open and know that you can move forward and you know how to do it. In your past lives, it makes me wonder whether this person or you could go either way, has either nurtured the other person and made them just feel good. So the bond between the pair of you where you make each other just feel at home and cared for. It's almost like, I'm not going to say motherly because it's not a motherly card, although it could be. It's just a feeling of mature, caring and taking care of somebody. And that's where your bond is, and it's almost as if you both knew it when there's quite a few eyes in your pile. This is what you can do, is basically open your eyes, and I think you're extremely good with the Magician card here of seeing through situations. And your past life connection, you've got this eye here, so I think you might have almost seen this in each other, and there's like this, and I don't want to use the word nurturing, but there's like this bond here that's strong and practical, and know that you know that you can fall back on this person, probably vice versa with the Queen of Pentacles. It's somebody who's got your back. And with the Scorpio there, there's like a bond there that's just good and solid and strong. But I'm wondering where you two have come from with these cards behind you and with these cards here, where the situation, it'd be really interesting to know, has actually come from. Because it feels like something big has happened in the past, and it may not have even been the pair of you. It could have been just one situation that somebody's coming out of. You are together. You have been brought together because it's just for you both to feel that attraction, and it doesn't automatically, to me, feel sexual attraction. It's almost like something deeper, something like spiritual attraction. You've got the star here, so it's almost like a humanitarian pull. And with this Queen of Pentacles, it's like to look after each other, to be there. And as I said, somebody that's got your back. It's bigger than a sexual bond. It feels to me as if it's something quite spiritual. You've got the Death here as well. You've got the Tower card behind. It's like a spiritual lesson to find somebody you can fall back on, somebody you can nurture and look after and just bring forward without having that sort of power play that often comes into sexual relationships. It's going in with your eyes open, being clear with each other, being open with each other, feeling the connection, helping one of you, I don't know who, through some difficult time. And with the star there as well, it's really sweet card, and the fact that you see the bigger picture, and you know that in the almost like in the universe, what you need to do to get you both from here to here. And when you're old and looking back at your lives, to think, oh no, we really were good for each other then. Okay, I'm counting cards. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, your future. I can see a flute there. Your future influence is the King of Wands, which is something that just speaks to me of kindness, of openness, of generosity, without the thought of taking or having taken too much or giving and not giving enough. It's just there and you give and it's free and you don't expect anything back. It's heartfelt, it's open, and it's just good-spirited. It's kind and it's sweet and it takes care. There's a real caring feel about these cards, a real sweet, caring, strong bond between the pair of you. It doesn't have, this pile to me doesn't have to be like a sexual or a passionate feel about it. It's a feeling of helping each other through difficult times, feel to me. The real strong bond. I'm not saying there isn't that sexual pull. I'm just saying that it's almost like a mature pile where there's caring and you're not playing games, and there's openness, and there has been some confusion in the past, but I think the communication is open and honest and mature, and the feelings are generous and heartfelt between the pair of you. It wouldn't surprise me whether you are the person who is going through a difficult time, because you're coming across here as the Judgment card with a polar bear, and it's almost as if you've been swimming underwater, it's cold and you're swimming and you've got your breath hold, and it's almost as if you've just been let out and there's light and you're almost screaming because you have held your breath for so long. This speaks to me, and it won't be this situation, but it's the only way I can think of, it possibly could be, of somebody who's been in a marriage that hasn't been good. Or some situation, could be anything, could be a job, could be a marriage or a friendship, or even something in their life has not been good, and they've met this person and they feel it's almost like meeting a saviour in some way, not in such a grandiose way, but then this person's come into their life and they're just there and they've got their back, and they're not trying anything on that's not appropriate at this time. They're just there, they're helping each other, and there's a real strong, caring, mature, humanitarian feel about this. And the other person, from their perspective, it's just genuine love. And I don't even get the rest of the cards. The love is something where you want something back, love. It's just a feeling of giving from your heart. This person's giving from their heart to you, and I think you can see it clearly. And this magician here is looking at the Knight of Cups here, which is your person. And the pair of you, when you're together, it's almost like a new beginning. You've got the Fool card for how your energy comes together. So it's almost like a new beginning, as if it's just something that you really needed to meet this person at this particular time. I don't know what has gone in the past, and I don't know if this is right or not. But with the Neptune and illusions, and the fact the story is quite sad in some way, it's like a swan that has almost been cursed, and then just as it's about to find the love that it wants, it's thrown back on its heels. I know swans don't have heels. And there's tears and there's crying. So this person who may have this affection for you, or this feeling or this bond with you, can almost feel your pain. And with Neptune there, it's almost like you can't quite grasp what actually happened, but something with the Tower and the Five of Pentacles there, something's fallen apart. And I'm getting to feel, as these cards go on, I wonder whether it's in your life. And whatever you do next, because your energy together is the Fool, and the situation has come up as death, change that has happened probably in your past, and then this card, which God knows what it is, some spooky tree, which means interpret it as you want. You know, that's for you to interpret, not me. What you think has gone on with the change, and with basically a complete slap up of your situation and flipping it over. The energy you have with this person is the Fool, so it's a new beginning. It's something exciting. It's at the beginning of a new adventure and leaving anything behind you negative. There's clarity. There's in this card, the Sun, almost to me, because this is feeling quite a spiritual pile. I always say in readings it means clarity, openness, childlike spontaneity, but what it really means is initiation. It's almost like an awakening. And with your cards here, dragging you from this to this bond with this person where it feels like the fall, it feels to me as if it is like a spiritual bond where you've been pulled together with the star, with the sun, and it's almost like this person has been fed into your life at this time for you both to pull each other up, to bring the best out of each other. And I think you're just realising this with the Magician. And this Judgment card here, it's almost like an awakening for you. So, even take with the Hierophant here, I wonder whether this person is that you have met or whether you are on some sort of spiritual journey. Because this is another possibility. I do think that something in the past has basically been a bit tumultuous for you, I'm guessing. And I wonder whether you've met this person. I don't know whether the bond is spiritual in some way, shape or form. It could be something to do with whether this person's a teacher, 11th house, because this is very sort of Aquarius to me as well. And this person with this Swan Lake feel has just come in just at the moment while you are crying. You can flip the roles, I don't know, but I'm feeling it's you, but it could flip. So this situation is you almost feeling like it's the end, and then this person turns up and pulls you out. It's like an awakening, and this, I wonder whether you have some sort of journey and some sort of job that you must be doing in this lifetime, and this person has come into your life to make you realise who you are and what you should be doing, because you're almost on slippery ground, and then you've met this person and it's just making you into something that you should be. Because you've got the Magician card here and the Star. And it's some grandiose power going on here. And this person's just offering you love. And I don't get a sexual feel about these cards at all. It's just a mature, giving and growing pile. Right, I'm going to keep going. So the likely outcome for you both as a couple or both as a pair is just, oh my gosh, okay. It's working possibly as part of a team where everybody works together. It gives that feeling, it's like an ashram feeling. It gives that feeling of moving together and being stronger in a group. So it might not just be the pair of you involved here, it might be somebody else, but there's drive and there's will. And it's almost, I think, with these cards behind, as if this is something that's coming up, that you need it to come up, to start using your drive and your passion and your will again. And the last card you've got is the hidden inner strength. So this shadow side of you, I'm thinking this is about you. I'm going into what's really happening to the relationship, and to me the relationship seems all about you, and it's almost as if you've been called to do something bigger than you possibly think you should be doing or could be doing, and this person's here to help you. It is like an awakening, and it feels quite genuinely spiritual to me, because you've got the Death, you've got the Tower, you've got the Sun for communication, you've got the Magician for you, you've got the Star here as well, and this person is coming across as the Knight of Cups, and their influence is like the Knight of Wands. It's as if he's coming towards you, or she's coming towards you, offering something to bring something out of yourself, and you're just beginning to breathe again. If you've ever had an inkling of something you feel that you haven't done, or something that you feel like you should do that you don't really feel that you've ever been up to, if you've been too embroiled in some sort of relationship or some sort of work situation that hasn't been good for you, and you almost feel like it's been, you've had the wool pulled over your eyes in some way, and this person's come into your life and waking you up a bit, it's because there is something that you should be doing. I don't know what it is. But it could be group work, it could be just, you've got to use your strong self-will not to think about things that have happened in the past, but to push forward and just basically throw yourself off the edge. When I'm saying this, if there's something you feel you need to be doing, then you really do need to be doing it, because you've got the inner strength to be doing it. And I think you can look back at any situation, and you may have parts of yourself that you don't like with this hidden the shadow side and the hidden inner strength. But I think those bits that you don't like are actually going to work in your favour to make you a stronger person and realise that we're all the same. everybody's got bits they don't like, but we don't all use them to go forward with. You can mull upon them, but with the magician here, I think that you're going to use that for for the best possible reason. Okay, I'm going to finish there, pile number 2. I hope that helps in some way. I'm really sorry that it's not like grumpy pumpy sexual, but to me that was really strong. There's something that you should be doing that's like an inner calling, and this person's basically in your life, and it didn't really feel as if it was like some sexual relationship to me. It feels as if this person's been brought into your life to make you realise who you are and where you should be going. Okay, well, good luck and thank you for listening. Okay, hi there, pile number 3. Right, what's really going on in your relationship? From the cards at the top, I'm getting the impression that there is something rather sexual going on, or some sort of erotic feeling between the pair of you, which is reciprocated. It makes me feel that it's almost as if you are both, or one of you is extremely good looking, and the attraction is there, and it's very visual, and it's very much felt by one or both of you. I think it's quite an expansive feeling where it makes you actually feel good to be with this person, and I do think that there's some sort of spiritual bond there where you feel like the attraction is something more than just physical attraction. Right, let me just get into this then and see what these cards are, if I've got the right cards out. The real situation where you stand, from where you stand, I think this makes me feel that there's a look of this person's eye of being very aware and almost like a cool look of, I know where I'm going about this person. But I do think this person is very attractive, and I wonder whether if it's male or female, I don't know. But there's that feeling of physical attraction there, and that's probably where the pull is with the power and the attraction. And I don't know whether there is power, but there's some feeling of being in control of themselves that's quite attractive. Now, the biggest barrier is your communication, in the fact that I think your communication with the 7 of Swords here being this snake that's taking the eggs, I wonder whether your communication is underhand in some way, is that you basically have to whisper behind corners, or you've not actually told this person how you feel in some way. It's slightly 7 of Swords, sorry, did I say that? I don't know. It's that slight feeling of being tricksy. The attraction is big, and I think your person you're talking about has a big, strong personality, but I think the communication is almost a little bit not out in the open, slightly under the table. The best thing you can do with this situation at the moment is just keep on doing what you're doing and working slowly. This is almost as if you're building a relationship with this person. And it's almost saying just to carry on doing that, even if it is, I don't know why, because the biggest hurdle is the underhand communication, or some way that you can't be quite open. And it's almost saying to carry on doing that. If you want to build a relationship with this person, that's the only way to do it at the moment. I don't know why. I wonder whether you work together because your past life connection is coming up as a 6 of Pentacles, which with the fact that this is a King of Pentacles person here, whether this man or woman, whether you've been joined together in a past life by a work situation. And it also makes me think of the fact that you've got this oxycal thing, I don't know what it is, with the scales on its horns, whether the relationship is slightly imbalanced in some way. So it could be like a teacher-child relationship, or boss-employee sort of relationship, or there could be an age difference. But it makes me feel, especially if this communication is slightly hidden or not out in the open, whether that is possible. It is possible to keep working towards a situation if that's what you want, but I think you're going to have to carry on more or less as you are for some period of time. So to me, this speaks of a strong person that you've fallen for. It speaks of some sort of sexual awakening or regaining erotic feelings from your point of view, possibly both. There's a strong attraction there, it's a physical attraction, and this person is coming across as quite regal but quite, to me, stern, and the only way that you can communicate is by almost in like secret love letters, if that's the stage it's got to, and you've been asked almost to carry on with that, if that's the way that you can go forward, that may be the only way you can go forward. There feels like an imbalance of age or something here. Age or status or just something that makes me feel that the communication isn't open because it's not really acknowledged to be correct in some way. You will know the answer to that. I don't know if that is true or not, but so why are you together? You've got the Six of Pentacles for some sort of, I'm guessing, work bond or some bond where one was giving to the other in some way, or one was above the other. And then you've got, I can't read nature because I don't really know what that actually means because it's a spare card. So I put one over it, you've got Justice. I'm going to read that as fairness for the moment, that something possibly needs to be pulled out of this relationship so it's more equal. But I'm going to leave it as that and see how it goes until I go back to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, okay. The future influence is masks, so the hidden wolf. So I wonder, especially as your person is coming across like this, there may be something that this person reveals where you actually see more inside them and who they actually are. If you keep chugging away, working away, carrying on as you are, that this person's going to reveal something. I know the card looks quite drastic, but I don't actually get the feeling that it's something horrific. They're going to reveal something to you that you may have been waiting for, or something that you may have had an inkling is there beneath their mask. This person has a mask on here of being in control and being, I'm thinking, above you in some way. So I don't know whether it's age or job or status in some way. And I wonder whether this has carried on from past lifetimes. And I wonder whether this person can reveal something that's going to change the relationship in some way, shape or form. Because when things look, there's a lot of secrets in this relationship. Well, how things look like from your perspective as the High Priestess, and I'm just going to read this straightforward as secrets, because you've got underhand communication here. It's secretive. You've got you weaving your web and trying to get close to this person, but you've got these strong, passionate feelings of attraction. This is giving me a feeling that is this person married or is this person in a relationship? Because from their perspective, they've got the Ten of Pentacles. I don't know whether this person is already in a relationship or it's just they're financially established in some way. The Ten of Pentacles speaks to me of both. Now, and you've got the King of Pentacles here, which is a mature feeling. So you may possibly... Let me put some cards. You may have fallen for somebody who's already taken. You may know that already. If you don't know that, then it probably doesn't apply. Because you've got masks here being taken off. You've got the High Priestess for you, how you view the relationship as a secret. The communication is coming across as sneaky, taking the egg out of the nest. And they're coming across as King of Pentacles. There's some sort of discrepancy, power between the power dynamics with you two, and then there's huge attraction here. So what is going on? Right, this person, what card is that? 8. How this person views things from their perspective is either they are committed in some way in some other relationship, which they could actually be very happy in, but really looking for some more excitement outside of that marriage. Or they could see you, I'm going to say could see you as an accumulation of something, some sort of fulfillment in where they want to go in life, which is very possible as well. but doesn't explain the secrecy and taking off the masks here. And it's just as if they want to jump into the situation due to the sexual desires and the attraction and the beauty that you both see in each other. But you could put, okay, there is another possible scenario whether you can't get to this person, whether it's like a pupil-teacher relationship or something that's not typically seen as acceptable in society, then this could make sense also. This person could be established financially or in a business sense in some way, and that's why they're coming across as the King of Pentacles here. And the communication is rather sneaky. There's the attraction there, and you may be in some situation where you're still working with this person and you're basically chipping away to get closer to them. In past lives, this relationship may have continued in past lives many times, because you've got the Six of Pentacles, which is working but in balance. And in some way the masks are going to be revealed and there's going to be some sense of fairness, but you almost got this secret that you are keeping at the moment, which could be just your attraction. Like, what is this mask? Okay, whether this person, if you know this person from a work situation or whether you work together, it could very possibly be that there could be some shift away from each other due to movement away from each other to a work situation. It could be just offices, it could be moving to another company. But that is a possibility. Right. How do your energy fits together in a sort of... See, the Nine of Pentacles is normally a card of a woman sat in the garden where she's quite detached but quite happy and financially secure, but there's something missing. But the Nine of Pentacles in this pack makes me think of some sort of sweet awakening. And with... Oh yeah, I never even saw this. I said it and I honestly didn't see it. Cupid and Psyche is awakening, so it gives me the feeling that there's something going on. You may not have even revealed your attraction to this person, because you're being asked to keep working away behind the scenes, and what is happening is almost like could possibly be some sort of awakening inside of you. It's like can't think of the word. It's like some sort of sexual initiation sort of feel about it. You know, when you're young and then you fall in love and you remember this person as the first person you have lots of feelings for. I'm not saying you're young, but that feeling's there. It's almost like a sweet, passionate awakening from, I'm assuming from your point of view. Sorry, SD card keeps flipping off or whatever every half an hour. You've got you've got the Sage and Caution card here, so it's almost as if you need purity and healing and caution together. So it's not really indicating it's a good idea to move forward with this person. If any of this is rung true and this person is some way a boss or somebody that you shouldn't be near, especially if they're married, or that situation where it's not quite right, it's almost saying keep it to yourself. This is something internal inside you that's meant to happen. This person has probably been with you in past lives before in a situation where it's been an imbalance and there needs some sort of, it's good for you, but it may not be good for you. If you feel this is right to reveal your feelings, if any of that rings true and this person's older than you or a boss, keep it to yourself. And the end result will be an intellectual awareness of the situation, a juggling of the situation. See, this makes me feel here, the Queen of Swords is something that's intellectual. This is how the relationship will most likely end up, or the outcome will be. You have this awareness of what's really going on. You have an awareness of the situation, and it's almost this situation carries on outplaying itself, which would very much fit in with your Eight of Pentacles, because this is weaving and weaving, and this one here is weaving and weaving. The relationship possibly could carry on. I don't know whether this work situation is correct, where the mask is revealed in some way. I'll go back to that at the end, but I'm not sure. And then the Five of Swords is almost as if it's like a competitive feeling. So you're aware of what's going on. Nothing changed in the situation. It carries on, but it's almost as if The Six of Pentacles and this person coming across as the bigger person, is almost as if you get fed up of being put into that smaller position, and you're fed up of nothing moving, and you're advised not to basically move it in these cards. And that's just how it carries on. I think it would be eventually you that walks away from this situation with these cards here. Okay, back to sum this up. Pile number 3. Interesting pile. There is beauty, there is attraction, there is passionate awakening here. It could either just be totally sexual, sensual, or just creative awakening. But this person could inspire you to do something later on with the feelings that you feel at the moment. There is an unequal feeling, an unequal feeling with this person, where it's almost as if you need to hide your attraction and your communication. And then in some way, shape or form, this person reveals himself, but I also think it's almost you revealing to yourself what you want. And this person is like a sweet awakening. It's got this pubescent feeling, and I'm not saying you are pubescent, I'm just saying it's got that really sweet sexual awakening feeling of somebody when they're young. And I'm not saying you are young, but that can happen at any time with regard, whoever you meet could just wake something up inside of you, which is a passionate and creative feeling. And that's what I think what you're meant to be getting from this relationship. And the end result is basically this: you being more aware, the situation playing itself out, no movement, playing itself out, no movement, and you getting fed up of not being on an even keel with this person. Right, okay, pile number 3. If any of that rings true, because that was such an unusual pile, please let me know if it's not too personal in the comment section, because that was quite unusual but interesting to me. Right, thank you for listening, and I think I need to go to bed pretty soon. I hope to see you again, so please join me again. Bye.